Hey guys and gals, now here from Drag Wing Gaming and 70 man on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace, June's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up and let's go. Alright. I'm sorry, but if we start firing cannonballs and missiles at each other while karting, that'll be my cue for retiring from the race. I think that could be fun. Surely you're kidding. I wonder if banana peels would actually be able to make a cart slip. How about we buy some before we go and give it a try? We're gonna get kicked out of the venue, aren't we? Littering aside, bananas can be a pretty good snack before these kinds of activities. They won't weigh on your stomach and they'll fill you with energy. They're pretty healthy. Healthy, huh? Didn't know you had an interest in that sort of thing. And Chen stutters, looking at me with pursed lips and a frown. He almost seems confused. Eventually, he stammers out an actual response, sighing. We should probably just get going. Yeah, let's just pack this place in, why don't we? We all head out to a small coffee shop downtown for a quick eat. The staff has to merge two tables together to accommodate our little menagerie. Because of the day and time we got here, we had to wait a while before they finally got tables for us, but the whole process was overall pretty painless. Hey, there's one thing I always wondered. What's the difference between a coffee shop and a cafe? How much they want to charge you? I doubt it can be just that. Maybe how fancy the environment is? I mean, this place is nice and all, but it's not like the cafe I went with you before, Yuichi-san. It's probably the same as the difference between a diner and a restaurant. I'm pretty sure there are differences other than the price tag and how fancy the place is. Oh yeah? Name one. I don't know, I'm not an expert on the subject. All I know is I've been to some really fancy diners and some really rundown restaurants, so I don't think that applies. That's a good point. Maybe we could ask a waiter what the difference is. Sure, just call him over and ask, hey, why isn't your establishment called a cafe? Are you guys not fancy enough? I'm sure that'd go swimmingly. I didn't say you had to phrase it like that. Sora-kun, he's just messing with you. What are you guys going to order anyway? I wouldn't recommend getting anything too heavy. Wouldn't want to get sick on the carts. But if you do, that could serve as a stand-in for a banana peel. Ew, gross. What do they have on the menu anyway? Probably just basic coffee shop stuff, like some sandwiches, a few baked goods, and some drinks. Depending on how many varieties of those things they had, the menu could still end up pretty big, though. That's true. They can just look at the huge menu they have behind the counter instead of asking yourselves that. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Evidently. Behind the counter is a huge blackboard with a bunch of different options and prices written down in faded white chalk. I guess the chalk was so faded that we couldn't make out it was actual writing until we were seated. Wow, they're really old school. They still have chalkboard menus. I think the word you're looking for is outdated. They could just go with a simple laminated menu instead. It's much simpler and probably allergy-free. You know. Can you even be allergic to chalk? Wouldn't surprise me. Some people are allergic to dust. Or pollen. I knew a guy who was allergic to his own fur. Ouch, it's gotta be terrible. What a miserable little life that guy must live. Some people are allergic to water, too. That must suck a lot, too. Sure, but imagine being allergic to yourself. Well, but... Sorry, y'all. How about being allergic to dirt and water at the same time? Then you have reactions whenever you're dirty but can't shower because you're allergic to the water. I don't even want to imagine that. I'd probably go insane. I like taking baths way too much to begin with. I'd be very sad if I couldn't. These people must really need strong coping mechanisms and support groups to get through life like that. There's a silent agreement on our table as everyone nods along. Is anyone here even allergic to something? Nichan and I are both lactose intolerant, but I don't know if that counts as an allergy. Lactose allergy is basically the more gung-ho version of lactose intolerance. I am lactose intolerant, too. Lactose intolerance is actually a really prevalent thing in most of Asia. It's pretty easy to find people who suffer from it. In that sense, I guess I kind of lucked out. European genes here. Everyone in my family is pretty healthy. We don't have any allergies, I think. I'm allergic to some types of medication, heparin, benazirapil, aspirin. Some others I don't remember off the top of my head. I have no idea what half that stuff is. How do you even know that stuff? Like, don't you have to begin medicine to find out you're allergic to it? Sorta. The doctors test you for stuff too. I stare at him with a raised eyebrow, feeling very suspicious all of a sudden. The tiger immediately shrinks in his seat, looking away from me and at the menu on the wall. Hey, did you guys decide on what you're gonna order? I think I'm gonna get a tuna sandwich and some juice. Bleh. I can't stand most seafood. Dude, then you came to the wrong country. No, other meats are also really easy to find in Japan. Only because it gets imported from outside. That's true. Japan doesn't have much land to raise livestock. I think I'll order a bagel. Are those pizza squares? Those are a thing in Japan. I think they're a thing in most of the world. And just like that, the conversation switches back to food once more. However, Jun continues to avoid my gaze, and I don't feel comfortable asking him questions like that in public, especially when he looks so desperate to avoid the subject. After we're finished with lunch, we all head right to the karting venue Jim mentioned. The place is, surprisingly big. There are multiple tracks inside, and apparently people can race in groups of 8. Which means since there are 7 of us, at least one racer on our track would be some random person. The place looks pretty busy. Probably since it's Friday and classes are done for the day in most schools. Wow, I've never been to a place like this before. It's so huge. Actually, surprisingly, neither have I. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I come here every now and then, and when I just want to have fun. It feels good to crush the newbies. What he means by that is that he spends most of his allowance here. Hey! The smaller mouse glares at his older brother, who seems as calm and serene as he always does. We also likes to go to the baseball batting cages down the street. Ooh, that'd be a good idea too. We should go there after we're done here. I've never been to one of those. What are they like? You get a baseball bat and a helmet, get inside a cage, and a robot shoots balls at you that you can bat. June's eyes immediately shine, and I could already tell we're gonna have to go there as well. A robot? That's so cool! I want to go see the robot! What? No, I don't mean a robot, just a, you know what? Forget it. We'll go after we're done with the carts if no one else has any objections. And none here. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I wonder if they had some place around here where you can play ice hockey. I've never seen any. Wouldn't you need a team to play in that anyway? You need a team to play baseball, and you have batting cages anyway. Oh, right. I guess that's true. Anyway, we're going to join the line. Are we going to join the line, or are we just going to stand around here gawking at the place? The line doesn't look too big. I don't think I'll take too long. Luckily, the line is moving somewhat fast, just like June mentioned. Apparently, each person pays for a number of laps here. Once each racer finishes running 5 laps, they have to drive to the exit, and a new set of racers enter after everyone has finished theirs. Which means the one who wins the race is also the one that gets to drive the least amount of time. I didn't even look at the prices. How much is it anyway? I can treat you if you want. No, I'm fine with paying for myself. You already treated me to food, Yuichi-san. I don't want to mooch. It's not mooching if I enjoy doing it. You and I have very different definitions for the word. It's 500 for 5 laps. That's not too bad. It's pretty okay, actually. Does that even cover the cost of running the place? The bear shrugs, either not knowing the answer to my question or not being bothered enough to give it. How about we go multiple times? Let's say 15 laps? Wow, someone's greedy. I can't help it, it just looks like so much fun. Just make sure you don't bleed your wallet dry in the process. It's only 500 yen, I'll be fine. Yes, it's only 500 yen, if done once. If you keep doing it over and over again, it'll stack up. Still, I quietly sigh and just decide to let that go for now. No sense trying to, talk sense into him. How fast can these go, anyway? I don't know, you'll have to ask the clerk when it's our turn. Although, it probably doesn't go very fast given that kids are allowed to drive these. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, they're not very fast. They definitely look faster than they feel, which is a real bummer. I'm glad they're not that fast. You already lose control half the time as is. You didn't have to tell him that. It's not like other people wouldn't figure it out once you started crashing into us. I don't crash. Really? Then what do you call it? Bulldozing? Your attempt to make it sound less lame only makes you sound even lamer. Screw you, I'm not lame. You're not going to tear me down. No need, you already did that to yourself way better than I could ever hope to. I hear a few whistles to my responses as the younger mouse stares at me with a murderous temper tantrum. Yuichi-san, you don't have to be so mean. How am I mean? I'm convinced you don't notice half the stuff that comes out of your mouth. What? I'm not mean, am I? Maybe not mean. Maybe abrasive would be a better term? Abrasive? Wow, I'm surprised you know that word. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Huh? You do this all the time. You say things without even thinking about how insulting they are. I do? Some days more than others. I think you've insulted every single one of us at least once today. Some more than others. Jin frowned, shooting me daggers with his eyes and crossing his arms. I didn't... It's easy to forgive because we know you don't mean it, and sometimes you're just trying to make a joke, but it can get annoying every once in a while. That's putting it mildly. I mean, I don't personally mind it all that much. I think it's normal for good friends to insult each other. Not everyone is the same way, though. Some people don't like that sort of thing. People especially don't want someone following them around, basically acting like a mirror to constantly point out and remind them of their flaws. But I didn't... June places his hand on my shoulder and gives me a gentle squeeze, smiling mournfully at me. Just dial it down for a bit, okay? Most of the time you're okay, but it's like you've dialed up to 11 today. Does everyone think the same? The only one who didn't speak up about it is Ryoji, but then again, I'm convinced he's not even listening to our conversation. Watch. Jin taps the brown bear's shoulder a few times and calls out his name. Yo, Ryoji! The bear sluggishly looks up, his eyes quickly scanning around him and looking at each of us. What? What's your take on it? My take on what? The younger mouse makes a gesture with his hand, pointing at the bear with a smug smile on his face. See? Kamigawa frowns, staring at Jin with confusion. And never mind, you can go back to playing your game. We'll let you know when it's our turn. What are you even playing? Must be really good for you to be like this distracted. Dragon Rush Saga 14. No, Dragon Rush Saga 34. Sorry about that. I don't know what the fuck 14 came from. 34. The panda frowns. So what? I've never heard of it. It's an obscure gaming series from a mobile game development company. It's pretty terrible. Then why are you playing it? Well, the romanceable girls are cute. Sora stares at the older bear with a look that I can't quite identify. It might be disgust, or he might just be constipated. Who knows? It's probably disgust, though. I think he's played more bad games than I've played games in general. That's pretty easy to do when you have no life other than playing games. I immediately get a bunch of blank stares pointed right at me, and the awkwardness comes flooding in really quickly. I'll shut up. Yeah, man. Yeah, he does have a habit of just, like, constantly insulting people. I know, it's like wit. It's like his wit and such. Once our turn in line finally comes, we're each given a cart, and the venue employees help us get strapped in properly to our seats. Half of me is surprised Jin managed to fit inside his cart, but after the awkward conversation we had not 20 minutes ago, I don't dare voice those thoughts. I'll just ignore the little voice inside of my head telling me to crack jokes at the things I see. I ended up being given a purple-colored cart with the number 7 stamped in white on the front of it. All things considered, I don't mind the look of it. I would definitely have preferred the red cart, though, but, well, I don't really get to choose. June was given a green cart with the number 4 on it and made a passing comment about how he wished he'd have gotten orange instead. The employees went over basic instruction. Taught us how to accelerate, brake, how to do curves, and general knowledge. They were very thorough with their explanations, too, because it took almost 5 minutes for them to finish. On top of the starting line is a big LED screen that does a countdown to take off. My eyes were glued on the thing as soon as it beeped the first time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As soon as it rang with the final beep, all engines were revved up to the max and the race started. The whole race is comprised of a small circuit with a few twists and curves mixed in. And nothing too crazy, definitely no video game level tracks where we have to make crazy jumps over ramps and whatnot. And that'd just be begging for a lawsuit. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. I am tired, I'm going to go to bed. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can, it always helps. Anyway, I love you all. See y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!